Yeah, good morning everyone and good evening, Shravan sir. Yes, you all are very excited for this talk. So let us not wait and let us begin our session. My name is Dhanush and today I will be the moderator for this session. So now let us begin our session with our powerful invocation by our Madhu.
Thank you, Danushanna. This is who we are. We are a team. Talented, energetic, astonishing mindsets. We can do anything and everything. We talk, we care, we respect each other. We see beauty in everything. We are connected by hearts and driven by values. We celebrate each other. We provide value to each other. We take ownership in everything we do. We have the freedom to make mistakes. We learn as we go. We are mad to make a difference. We love disruptive ideas. We make impossible things possible. We are strong to question the creation. We believe in dreaming big. If we do not dare to dream big, are we really living? Why be ordinary when we can be extraordinary? We can do it, we will do it. Let us not hope for the best, let us be the best. We should be driven by goals, not by egos. This is who we are.
Thank you so much, Madhu. Thank you so much for that powerful invocation. Yes, it added great value. Yes, reading and listening to the quotes always makes us feel like having superpower within us. You know that today there is a change in our session, and now instead of the gratitude story, we are going to listen to a great quote. And now, uh, let us listen to the quote by or Madhu. Actually, Nivi used it to say, but
Yeah.
instead of Nivi, let us
This
go
is
with
the
the
quote
Madhu
of
to
the
say.
day. As we
Yes.
express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them.
Uh, Thank you so much for the great quote, Madhu. Now, let me introduce to our top speaker and without waiting anymore. Sir is the managing partner at V2 Gas Engineers. Sir completed his BTech in Chemical Engineering in Usmania University, MTech in Chemical Plant Design in IIT Kharagpur, and Sir did his MBA in Sikkim Manipal University. Sir has 36 years experience at GM LPG Indian Oil Corporation Limited, a Fortune 500 oil company in India headed LPG bottling plant operations and LPG sales. Sir has experience in the market transformation, channel management, and team leadership. SAR is skilled in the channel management, team leadership, petroleum engineering, project planning, project management, recruiting, inventory management, change management, team management, application software development, channel strategy, channel remuneration, and policy making, and many more. Aren't you excited for a one person having these many skills and a one person who is making everyone worth of the skills and worth of the knowledge? Yes, today the our top speaker is none other than our Vimal Kumar Mathur sir. Today we are going to know about the LPG bottling plant process and SAR's experience in introducing a new design of LPG cylinder. Now, our sir will carry forward the call. Over to you, Vimal Kumar Madhav, sir.
Thank you so much, everybody. I thank the Top Cell for giving me this opportunity to share my views. I would say it's not just a lecture; it's an interaction, and no introduction is good enough than saying that I'm connected with you, being a alma mater of the OU College of Technology, Usmania University. So, that is the best connection which I have with you all, and that's why I'm here. Now, I have an experience of 36 years as it was introduced with Indian Oil. I was fortunate to work with this company, and I was heading the LPG bottling plant in Maharashtra. And fortunately, that plant got the best maintained plant award from Indian Oil when during my tenure. So I thought I'll share some of my experiences, or probably give you an idea of what you would be if you what you would handle when you grow up to become leaders of tomorrow. And uh, you know this of course some of these points or the topic may not be really relevant to um, many of you as you think now, but definitely a few years down the line, you will be heading positions, and where you would be, probably handling, factories or plants. So you could take some giveaway from this talk. If you feel that it is going more technical, then if you could just indicate, maybe I can, uh, take it fast. If not, the question and answer session is at the end. Please note down whatever you want to ask, and I'll be glad to share my experiences regarding that particular question. And yeah, I think let me start off this session. It's a 1.5 hour session, as I was told, and we've already lost 12 minutes out of that. And so I have prepared a presentation for you for better understanding. And you know I'll start that presentation. Yeah, first I'll be talking about the LPG bottling plant process. I don't know how many of you would have seen such type of installation, but it's very interesting, to work heading a LPG bottling plant would be meaning that you would be having experience in all facets of running an organization, a small organization or a bigger organization, which will give you some insight on every aspect of running a plant, right, or a factory. Let's To understand very simply, I just wanted to show you one video. Just look at it. You know what we are doing here? We are pouring water from a larger vessel to a smaller vessel. Well, this is bottling process simplified. This is exactly what we do in a bottling plant. I hope it would have been that simple, but no, it isn't. What we are handling here is not water, it is LPG. How many of you know what is LPG? LPG is liquefied petroleum gas. It's a mixture of butane and propane. You must be all knowing what is the formula of butane and propane. Propane is a C3 compound, butane is a C4 compound. They are mixed in the ratio of 60 to 40%. And of course, it is highly flammable. The best part of it is that it can be easily liquefied at moderate pressures. So what this is the best property which we use in the bottling plant. Just imagine if it was not so. You were just transporting to your house only gas, the LPG gas. A cylinder would last for only one day, and every day you would have to visit your distributor. Here, what we are doing is that we are liquefying. That means we are converting the gas to liquid under moderate pressure, and bottling this in the cylinder. So you are taking home 1 month's requirement of your kitchen energy to your home, and after 1 month you are replacing that cylinder or that much quantity. What is LPG bottling? It is a process of transferring LPG from a large storage vessel to small containers, that is cylinders. Very simple, isn't it? What we have seen with water just now, we can imagine that to be from a large, storage vessels. Storage vessels can be a big spherical vessel called a Horten sphere, or these small vessels which are called bullets. We have a manifold of pipelines, and then once we transport the LPG from these containers, large containers, through the process called bottling. Ultimately, we get cylinders filled with LPG, which are transported back to the distributor and to your homes. But before we deal with the LPG, uh, bottling plant operations, we have to know certain important properties of LPG. It is colorless. The state in the cylinder, we all think that it is liquid LPG. It is both liquid and vapor. The density is only half the weight of water. LPG as gas is twice heavier than air. This is very important property, because if LPG leaks, it will leak uh, and settle at the ground. It will not go in the air. Basically, it is odorless compound, but we add intentionally ethyl mercaptan. It's a sulfur compound which is added as an odorant just to give you a feeling of nasty, smell in case there is a leakage. The flash point of propane is minus 104 and butane is minus 160. The boiling point of propane is minus 40 and butane is minus 2. This means that at atmospheric pressure, this liquid will boil. So can we open the lids and transfer LPG? No, we can't, because at atmospheric pressure, it is in the form of a gas. So the entire system is a closed system. This is very important. Liquid expansion, when it expands with each degree, the LPG liquid will expand 12 times higher than that of water. The latent heat of evaporation is 1/6 that of water. Then the liquid LPG requires only a small amount of heat to become gaseous. Means if you just boil, if you just introduce some amount of heat. So what the generally people do is, when they put the cylinder in hot water, then whatever LPG liquid residual is there in the cylinder, that converts into gas, and then they are able to extract that gas. Of course, that's a unsafe procedure, but for the understanding, we can use this example. The flammability limit, that means the mixture of air, gas in the atmosphere, if the if this mixture is less than 1.5%, then LPG will not burn. And if this mixture is more than 9.5%, this mixture will not burn. So it is within this small range, that is 1.5% to 9.5%, that LPG will burn. And if it is let out in the air, it will mix with the right amount of air, and then it will catch fire and probably explode. Let's understand the LPG bottling process. The LPG is received in bulk from the manufacturing facilities like refineries. We manufacture or rather extract LPG from the refineries through the gasification of natural gas or distillation of the crude oil. This is the topmost layer of the product which comes out. Okay. Then an LPG bottling plant has a facility to receive, store, and transfer LPG to small containers like LPG cylinders. This we all know. So this we are using. Just to see what this bottling operation is there pictorially, we have these LPG bullets. Here there are 3 bullets, each probably of the capacity of holding 150 metric ton of LPG. We receive LPG from the refineries, or through tank wagons, or through tank trucks. And this LPG is unloaded and filled into these storage vessels. From here, they are transported within the bottling plant to a system called the carousel. You must have seen the carousels lately, used in the manufacture of vaccines. Well, we also do that, but the carousels are much larger. They vary from capacity of 12 cylinders per round to about 64 cylinders per round. So they are huge. Then this is used for filling LPG into the cylinders. These cylinders are filled, and SQC, the standard quality checks are done on the cylinders, and then these are transported to the distributor from where they reach your house. This is a typical layout of LPG bottling plant. Here you see two Horton spheres. That means these are the storage within at the center, and the bottling facility, that is the bottling carousel, is situated behind this. Behind this, there's a huge shed. And then what are these blue tanks? Are those fire water tanks which are used to fight fire in case there is a fire. These contain huge amount of water. The other peripheral facilities are there marked in red, and this is just to pictorially show you what is the typical layout of a bottling plant. While constructing or designing a bottling plant, we have to have some design considerations which are very important. As we just saw, LPG is heavier than air, so it settles down at the bottom. So what happens if we place the LPG, say, bottling facility, that is the carousel, at a place which is below the level of the LPG storage? In that case, what happens if there is a leakage, God forbid, then that leakage will travel to the carousel, and there we have the maximum number of people working. So they will be at a risk of getting burnt. So what we do is, normally the bottling facility is placed at a higher level and at the upwind, that is from where the wind is blowing into the plant. So that is how we at the design level locate each and every facility. But since we are dealing with LPG, we have to keep the safety distances and buffer zone into mind, because there are stipulations laid down by the PESO. PESO is the explosive department, and the facilities are well distributed in the total layout. Then storage sheds are also as per the PESO approval. PESO is an organization which gives you a license to store that much kgs of LPG. So based on that, we have to design. We always take the hazardous waste management water and air consent from the pollution department. And also, this plant should be situated at a place which is a protected area, basically because anybody can fire any kind of a missile, and the whole plant will get burned in seconds, not even minutes. Basically, we divide the LPG layout into two zones, that is hazardous and non-hazardous zones. Non-hazardous are those which are having facilities like the office building, the supply and distribution center. Then we have the tank truck crew resting area, and the DG sets, the electrical facilities. Apart from this, we have the tank truck or tank wagon loading and unloading gantry, where we get this product, that is LPG liquid, in tank trucks from the bottling plant, from the refineries, and unload this LPG into our bullets. So this tank truck and tank wagon loading and unloading bays are the first thing what you see in a LPG bottling plant. Then we have the LPG filling shed, where we actually have the carousel which fills LPG into small cylinders. Now, if there is a leakage from the cylinders within the shed, there is a vapor extraction system, which is situated at a low level, and we have pumps to pump out the LPG which is leaked out. Then we have the safety management system, where basically, because in case of any untoward incident or a fire, then we should be able to fight fire for the first half a minute. Then after that, it goes beyond our control. Then we should have a security system and the fire hydrant system. Fire hydrant system is the water pipeline running throughout the periphery of the plant and around all the facilities. These are what you get to see at the bottling plant. The facilities like electrical system. We have the every electrical equipment is to be run through an electrical feed. So we get electrical supply from the nearest substation. We have a transformer. We have earthing and lighting arrestor systems. We have in case there is a downtime of the electrical system, electrical supply from the regular electricity board. We have diesel generator sets which are backup. Then we have TLD, that is tank lorry decantation bays, unloading and loading arms. These are totally mechanized for unloading bulk LPG from tank trucks. Then liquid LPG, LPG liquid pumps to pump the LPG, liquid LPG, which is received from the tank trucks into our storage. The storage is obviously at a higher level, so we have to pump the liquid. So we require LPG liquid pumps. We have LPG compressors too, which is used to compress LPG and maintain pressure at the top, so that the liquid comes out from the bottom through a pressurized system. Now, all the systems, all the automation is done through pneumatic air. So we have air compressors, pneumatic valves, and also air filters. We have to, in the bottling plant, we have to, move the cylinders from one place to another. It's in a process, and that is done through chain conveyors. We have this carousel and the motor which runs the carousel. Carousel basically it's a circular shaped machine with a central inlet, and which feeds LPG supply to all the guns, LPG guns, which sit on the LPG cylinders, which fill the LPG cylinders. Now, in case something, if there is a mishap or there is an indication of leak, then we have remote operated valves by which remotely we can operate, close or shut the valves, any valve in the bottling plant. This is very important when during any leakage or when we are shutting down the plant. We cannot go to each valve and physically operate. Then we have excess flow check valve. That means if in case the pressure of LPG in the pipeline is more than the desired design pressure, then automatically these check valves, excess flow check valves, operate and they will release the pressure. We have LPG detection systems. Throughout the plants, there are nodes which detect LPG concentration at the bottom, and they will activate an alarm to notify that there is a leakage at a particular system. Backed up by all this is our firefighting system. Firefighting system consists of fire water system, that is water tanks, huge water tanks, which are each one is holding about 3,700 kiloliters of water. And then to maintain the flow of water throughout the system, we have fire engines of about 400 cum per hour, and pumps. And to maintain that pressure of about 8 kgs in the fire water system, we have jockey pumps. These are small pumps which pump that extra small, uh, extra pressure into the system. Then we have water monitors in case there is a fire. We have remote water monitor jets which will throw water at a very high speed. The fire water monitor sets and double hydrants. Hydrants are when you approach the fire manually carrying this water. These are hoses basically which contain water. Then manual call points are those where, if anybody finds some leakage or fire, the system to alert everybody is through these manual call points. Deluge valves are those valves which are used for operating the fire water, the fire water pumps. And you know what? In case the storage or the bottling plant, say carousel, catches fire, immediately there is a water sprinkler system which operates remotely and automatically without any human interference, and they'll be totally soaked with water. So this is the system. Apart from this, we have communication equipment like walkie-talkies to communicate within the plant, then PA paging system, internet access, and we have this SAP ERP system also. To give you a feeling of what bottling plant, the carousel is, I have one video. Maybe you can have a look at this. Are you able to see the video?
Yes, sir. Yes.
These are the filling guns which I was speaking of. This is the carousel, 64 head carousel. This it automatically sees the empty cylinder weight and adds 14.2 kgs, and then gives a signal to the gun to fill that much of LPG. These are the these are the ways by which the cylinder moves from the empty shed to the filled shed after the filling of LPG is done. This is an automatic LPG dispenser filling machine. This is the top of the cylinder. What is written on the top is the tare weight of the cylinder. That means empty weight. So automatically 14.2 kgs is added, and the machine fills that much of LPG. Because of paucity of time, I think I have to stop this video now. So this is about what we have. I had to show you basically regarding the facilities in a bottling plant, LPG bottling plant. I'd be glad to take on any questions which you have. Now coming to the next topic, that is introduction of the new composite cylinder. A lot of videos and WhatsApp messages are going around that Indian Oil has introduced new composite cylinder. Hindustan Petroleum has introduced new composite cylinder. What is this basically? We have been seeing this the red cylinder. You must be already having. Everybody must be having in your kitchen, and some of us feel that this is an eyesore. So what they do is they keep or hide the cylinder behind uh, a cabinet. So uh, this leads to an unsafe practice, because once you hide the cylinder, you will not be able to know whether there is a leakage in the cylinder or not. So there was, I mean, a lot of committees which went into finding out ways of, you know, dealing with this problem, and to have a cylinder which looks good, so that people get motivated to keep it and keep them inside uh, the kitchen, visible to everybody. So the oil companies, you know, got together, and through a foreign technology, we could introduce this new composite cylinder. It is called a composite cylinder. It has started as a modern age cylinder under the PM, Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana. You must have all heard about that. Now, this is made of HDPE, which is high density polyethylene inner layer, covered with composite layer of polymer wrapped fiberglass. You know, fiberglass body it has. So it is very light, and it has been again coated with HDPE outer jacket. They promised to replace the, you know, that odd looking red cylinder, the metal cylinder. Yes, it did. It looked very attractive, and everybody, including me, thought that, you know, I should get it at my home. The capacities which were introduced are 2 kg, 5 kg, 10 kg of LPG, compared to 14.2 kg of LPG which we have in our, uh, the normal cylinders which we are using in our kitchens. Now this has properties which are very good, and uh, this needs to be like adopted by almost every household in the country. It is safer, it is lighter than the metallic cylinders, and it's almost like 50% lighter than the steel cylinder. It is corrosion free, of course, because there's no metal in this. It is UV protected. In case it is kept in the open, then the cylinder will not decay. It is translucent in nature. This is very attractive, because all of us have been facing this problem of suddenly finding that the cylinder is empty uh, while the cooking is on. So we don't know basically what is the level of LPG in normal steel cylinders. Here we are able to see the level of the cylinder, and it is because the body is translucent in nature. It looks very good, so aesthetic looks are there, and it has increased safety features, so which enables lesser LPG accidents overall. Here also, I would like to make you see this video of Indian about the composite cylinder. You will be getting an idea of what it is. But was it easy for us to introduce as a company these new cylinders? First of all, obviously, as you see, the cost of these cylinders is much higher than the normal steel cylinders. So it was a challenge for us. I was in the team of in the Indian Oil Corporation, who took close experience with the team in introducing this cylinders in the market. It has been there almost for about 5 to 7 years, but then it didn't catch on because these cylinders were costly, and we didn't know how to introduce these in the market, because your normal cylinders are at a deposit. You have not bought these cylinders. So here we were to introduce these new cylinders as to be bought by the customer. So we face these challenges. Now, normally what happens is, the normal practice of any housewife is to keep the cylinders in the cabinet, stored away from the normal eyesight. So this outlook of the housewife had to be changed in the market. Then we have approximately 700 million cylinders in the market as of now. If we were to replace all these with the new FRP cylinders, it would take huge amount of money and huge amount of production capacity. So we had to scale up the limited production capacity to match the demand. So for that, we needed to slowly increase the demand. Initially, we had a very sluggish demand. People were not buying the cylinder, but now it has caught on because people are prepared to pay a bit more to let this cylinder enter the kitchen. The mindset of customers had to be changed. The hesitancy to spend on aesthetics. Then lot of approvals from the explosive department and the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas were to be taken before we introduced this in the market, because this had to be an acceptable, safe product. Mind you, this cylinder has not had a single accident as of now. But then, how do we fill the cylinders? Filling of the cylinders needs to be done through a different arrangement. Of course, it's called it is through the carousel, or it is through a single machine which fills cylinders, which has a single gun. So many of these had to be introduced in our bottling plant, for which we had to take an additional approval from the explosive department. We had to augment our capacity, and then we had to find we had to link the bottling plants where the actual demand was there. So it was done in a phased manner. Then we had to augment the total transportation of cylinders. Presently, the cylinders are carried by trucks to the distributor. Approximately 320 cylinders are carried in a single truck. With this cylinder, with the new cylinder, since the height is limited, we could transport more number of cylinders. So all the agreements had to be changed with transportation vendors, and we had to keep an inventory at various bottling plants, because we didn't know exactly how much demand would get generated. So that was one. Then pricing of this product was a very, very major task, and it was very carefully priced, because this had to generate the demand. So these were a few challenges which we overcame, and now Indian Oil, HPC and BPC, all the three oil companies have introduced these cylinders in the market, and it is hopefully picking on fast. Thank you. Hope you enjoyed the session as much as I did. Thank you. I am open now for question and answers.
Wow, sir. Oh, what a wonderful session on what a wonderful insight on the LPG bottling process.
Yeah.
And I have roamed from a plant to my home at LPG cylinder.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It was very brief because the time limit was just 1 hour, and I had to do justice in this. So I would like to have a feedback from all of you on how this presentation was, and if you have any questions, you can write to me, or maybe you can talk to me or WhatsApp me. My number is 9246. If you can write down, everybody who is interested, 9246 117717. Maybe Shravan can share this with all of you. I would like to have questions. Any question would mean that you have understood a bit of it. So if no questions, I would feel that yes, I was not effective.
Wow. But Vimalji, you did a great job. I mean, that was a fantastic presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Learned a lot. I mean, we see gas cylinders all the time. I mean, when I think in my engineering, or soon after was the first time we had a gas cylinder in our home. That was 30 years ago. You just saw it. It was there. We used it, but learning the whole process, how it was done, now makes it look. I seem to like my gas cylinder more now.
Then you need to replace. Of course, you are there in US, so this won't apply to you.
I know. I'm thinking when I go back there, I'm going to do that. I'm going to tell my parents, it's new one we are getting. They won't like it, but now I'm 52. I think I have I can do some things in the house.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do that. When you talked about introducing this new product, new gas cylinder, can you tell a little? I mean, how many years did it take you to work with, all these teams, right? You had to work with so many different teams within the company, and then you had to work with the government regulators. I'm guessing a lot of irritations were happening, a lot of confusions were happening. Can you tell a little bit about how your team handled all of this to make it happen?
Yeah, to tell you frankly, the first cylinder which came from Norway was way back in 1992. Can you imagine? It was it was picking up dust for almost a decade, because nobody saw value in this product, because as you know, LPG is a subsidized product. The government spends a lot of money on every cylinder which you buy. So if the government is going to spend more by introducing this cylinder, then which minister or which regulatory body would like to have this? So it was basically a push by the oil marketing companies, which was on a run for enrolling new customers. So they thought this is the best way to enroll new customers. But then this has to have a backing of the government. So that was a major task. I have not listed down that in the challenges because of obvious reasons. But we had a terrible time convincing the ministry that if these cylinders are introduced, it will add value to the kitchens. Or then they said, no, what you do is you introduce this in commercial areas. So as you have seen, commercial establishments, where is the cylinder seen? It is there hiding behind somewhere in a storage. So would they be willing to take and convert this cylinders? So that was a wrong thing. It was a square peg in a round hole, right? So we had to position this to the domestic customers, obviously, and it was very difficult to convince them. Then finally, around 2011, we were told to identify manufacturers of these and scale up the manufacturing. It took about 6 years to identify these manufacturers and get the it is again the chicken and the egg concept. Yeah,
right.
Which comes first? So we had to literally force the manufacturers to invest in these cylinders, this raw material, and manufacture cylinders and sell it to the oil companies for their inventory, initial inventory. That happened by 2017, and these cylinders, the whole pricing was approved by 2018, and 2019 onwards, this has taken a boost. I'm not aware of what exactly are the sales figures now because I've left the company, but they are promising. Uh, I would like to believe that. Yeah.
Wow.
So these are the challenges which are unhidden. I mean hidden behind the slides. Yeah. Any more questions?
Yes, Vimalji.
Yeah.
You actually answered one of my questions. I was thinking, why wouldn't we make it mandatory, right? Why wouldn't the government make it mandatory to phase all the old cylinders out? Because you are showing that this is safer, it's easier to use, it's better looking. But now I understand why.
Yes, Geeta, are you from India?
I am in India now.
Yeah, okay, if you are in India, and you must be definitely cooking in the kitchen. How many times do you look at the cylinder?
I don't cook very much here,
Okay.
but I do look at the cylinder from time to time.
Yeah. Okay, and you would have observed somebody who's cooking in the kitchen, of course. So the thing is, it has to be placed properly in the kitchen, in the sense that it is below your working area, so hardly you see that cylinder, and so we should as a company make you see that cylinder. Then only it will be marketable, right? So that is the mindset change which we wanted to bring. Now with the new kitchen concepts coming, many people in the affluent areas of the cities are mandatorily taking this, in the sense the sales are much more in those areas. And would we not be contradicting ourselves when we said that when we introduced the steel cylinders, we said it is the safest, and now again we are saying that this is more safer. Okay, or probably we are saying that this is safest. Which housewife will get impressed by this argument? Second thing is how much more you have to shell up.
Exactly.
The thing is, mera kaam to chal raha hai. That is what people think. So why should I take something new?
Don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah.
Right?
Unfortunately, here we can't make any of the equipment go, outdated, like how the mobile phones do. So after a certain time, automatically something gets wrong, and you go for a new phone. Here we can't.
Yes. I do have a question. You mentioned that the new cylinder has to be purchased, but the old cylinder, it's a deposit. Yes. I think we pay 900 rupees or something like that every time we...
950 the deposit, then it became 1250 now. So this is not the price of the cylinder which we buy. It is not sold to you. The normal price of the cylinder is about 1500 to 1800, which we buy, but then that is not transported to your cost. So what the oil companies do is that they buy the cylinder, they maintain the cylinder. Every 5 years the cylinder has to be tested hydraulically, hydrostatic pressure and pneumatic pressure, both we apply and test. So this you will not be able to do when you buy the cylinder, right? So the responsibility of the company is that we should do the maintenance of that cylinder. That is why we give it on deposit, which fortunately for you is lesser price than the original price of the cylinder, right? And that's all. Now coming to the new cylinder. The new cylinder, we have brought this concept of buying the cylinder. Where you buy the cylinder, you must have seen the Kosan gas small cylinders earlier. They were in the market about 20-30 years back. They used to sell the cylinders to you, and then you used to keep the cylinder, and maybe not use it for 20 to say 20 months. I would say 10 to 15 years sometimes, and then suddenly start using it, and there will be a blast. So when you are having that cylinder and you are not caring for that cylinder for 20 years, then suddenly you want to use it. Who's responsible? And if I make you responsible for that, it is wrong. So the oil companies have taken. Now in this case, it is found that these cylinders need not be tested every 5 years. The FRP cylinders, because they are so safe. The only place where they can develop a leak is when they have, that joint between the valve and the cylinder. So what we do is once you use a cylinder for 1 month or 2 months, get it to the distributor. The distributor gives you a new cylinder without any cost, and then we again test that particular. This cylinder goes for testing from that neck joint, what we say, and then it is put back into circulation if it is found okay. So your cylinder is not your cylinder. You own one cylinder. That's it. We don't do filling at your place.
So it seems like the distribution is a little more inconvenient. Then we have to take it to the center, or
No,
because here everybody everything.
No. When I'm saying that you have to take it to the center, the delivery boy or the
They will come.
Delivery system will come to you and take the cylinder. When I'm saying that you have to take it, I'm referring to foreign company, foreign places where it's available at the local store or a supermarket where you can just go and pick it up.
Okay.
But in India, there is a system of delivery boys coming to your place, as what it happens now.
Okay, I do want to, like Shravan, I do want to start convincing mom to switch to the new cylinder if it's available in our area.
Sure. It is much more safer.
Yes, and it's 1,500 rupees, you said?
Yeah.
12 to 1,500?
Yeah.
Thank you, Vimalji.
Thank you. Yeah. Hi, Meena.
I have a question. Hi, Vimal.
Yeah. Tell me.
My point when where it started, this whole discussion about you're giving a talk on this. So I just wanted to tell the rest of the listeners that this started off in our own batch group where somebody sent information, forwarded an information about this new cylinder.
Yeah.
When Vimal reacted that I was part of the design of this cylinder or commercialization of it, I jumped at it and I said, can you give a talk? That's how it started. Because it's so relevant for the students. It covers so many aspects of safety and commercialization. That's a very important thing that students should learn. And these kind of classes, actually, I know how very important it is when we are in an industry. So coming from NFT, in my plant, I had a 20-ton LPG bullet. And I was maintaining, we were operating and maintaining it. Of course, we didn't do any bottling. But I know how important the safety aspects were and how conscious we used to be. In fact, I had an ammonia bullet. I had 2 ammonia bullets and 1 LPG bullet in my plant for the plant use. Okay. And I always had radioactivity all around. So I was feeling like I was sitting on a bomb for about 20 years of my life. So every night also I used to be very conscious of what's happening, how the guys are running it, appreciate. So I can imagine your designing a safe system.
Yeah.
So having said that, it is a wonderful input into our lives, change in our lives, because a lot of people are not educated enough to handle these emergencies. The people who use these cylinders. Because now, as we know, in India also, Vimal and Geeta and Shravan, many cities are going for pipe gas. So we may not be using cylinders. In fact, there is a flat which we have booked, and there it is pipe gas. So the cylinder is stored in one shed inside the gated community, and we all get pipe gas into our houses. So we probably may not need to go in for these kind of designs or cylinders anymore. But it is so important for people who are living in rural areas, okay? And because I don't know when pipe gas will reach them. It's a long way off now. So that way, it's a very, very important talk, and I love the way you covered right from concept of LPG bottling to commercialization. And there are a lot of questions I'm sure students should be asking, but I'm sure probably they're not aware of the importance of all these aspects, right? So somewhere in their lives in future, if some of them happen to be in some way connected to these kind of systems which require high safety standards, they will remember this talk, I'm sure, and probably get back to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Yes,
you. Thank you.
so
So
happy.
nice.
I'm sure you have opened up a topic for discussion even for me, because, and also I want to tell you, ask you if you will be open to giving a talk in NFC, because NFC we have more than one bullet. I had a 20-ton bullet, but
Yeah, of course, I would do. Of course, I would do, but I will not be representing Indian Oil there. So I
no,
can do it on a freelance basis,
technical.
or maybe we could ask the supplier if it is Indian Oil. I can arrange somebody to
No, Vimal,
officially
it
give
will
you a
be a
talk.
technical talk. It's just a technical talk. It's
Oh
not
yeah, oh yeah. I'm open to that. Absolutely, no problem.
the an
Yeah,
ad or yeah.
yeah.
Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
I really enjoyed it.
No,
And
it was a pleasure. I think Vinay and Apurva have raised their hands. Do you have a question?
Hello, Vimalji.
Yeah,
Good
hello.
morning.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, tell me.
Yes, sir. So, firstly, I want to appreciate for your innovative way of reimagining a cylinder. It has been the same since many years, right? Like the way you reimagined it and made it look more aesthetic is so innovative. And actually, for solving this kind of problem, like the way you have taken the responsibility to solve this problem is one part, and also this is not a direct selling method. Uh, before before selling it, we will have to educate the users, right, sir? And it takes a lot of effort to actually make them switch and see the benefits in it. And Meena ma'am brought my doubt out. Like I was thinking about the pipe gas thing. Like I heard about that system, I haven't seen it, but what about the pipe gas system? Like, are we going to have the future cylinders in that way? But now I got it where this can be used as in the rural areas. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, Vinay, thank you for appreciating whatever little I could do with this talk. Regarding your question on the piped gas, piped gas comes in two forms. One is that you must have seen in Bombay or some other cities where the entire city is laid out with the piped gas.
Yes.
That gas is not LPG, that is natural gas, that is compressed natural gas, that is CNG. Okay, that is basically methane and ethane. We cannot compress that into cylinders because it requires a thick shell. That is why I said in my initial talk that LPG is a very beautiful product because it makes you able to convert the gas to a liquid very easily at very moderate pressures. In the case of methane and ethane, we require very high pressures. So obviously the cylinder will be very thick. Now, in those cases, the permanent piping of this city distribution has been done long back, and the availability of CNG or PNG, I would call piped natural gas, is very, very low compared to LPG. So if we have to reach out to every nook and corner of the country, it is just not possible. So what we have done here is we have innovated to some extent where high-rise buildings, you must have seen all those new buildings coming up in Gachibowli and all for 40-story, 50-story. They can't be having one cylinder every kitchen, okay? And people who are residing in those high-rise buildings would not like to have a cylinder in their house. So what we have done is we have brought that cylinder down in a manifold where, as Meena was saying, that we have a bunch of cylinders all connected to each other through a manifold. It is called a manifold. And through the manifold, we take this gas up to every say flat, meter that gas, and the flat resident is made to pay whatever he consumes. Okay, this is called reticulated system, and this can be adopted anywhere where you have a bunch of houses. Okay, now if I am having a independent house, for one cylinder will I be going for that kind of arrangement? No. So that is an impediment in expanding the pipeline network. So what we are doing is these high-rise buildings where about 200, 300 to about 5,000 people, households are there. We club all of them, provide a common storage at the basement, and take the pipeline to individual flats. So that is called the reticulated LPG network, for which we are open to go and install anywhere. Any community which is approaching us, we do that, provided they do the pipeline system. There's a specialized pipeline. You can't be having the pipelines of the water going for LPG. There's a special kind of pipe. Yeah.
Got it, sir. Thank you for clarifying that. And also, sir, how do you look at the future of cylinders, sir? Like, are we going to replace all our gas stoves with the electric stoves, or still we going to be using LPG?
See, LPG has been having a threat from electricity as a sort of a replacement fuel. But in your household, can you afford an electric stove going around and not impacting your electricity bill? Up till now, fortunately for all of us as citizens, LPG is a subsidized product. The government is bearing a cost of the total cylinder price. Whereas in electricity, is it bearing? It is not bearing. So if you replace LPG with the electric stove, first of all, the electric stove will not be having that energy conversion ratio as high as LPG. LPG is the best fuel for cooking. Even the natural gas, the PNG which I was talking about, is not the best fuel. The LPG is having the best fuel where you are able to see the blue flame. When you see a blue flame, that means the combustion is complete. Okay. When the combustion is complete, then you are getting the maximum out of that fuel. Otherwise, it goes waste in the form of soot, and that is black or orange flame, right? So that way, LPG is very, very efficient and easy to use, available everywhere, and it has a reach. That is why it has taken off as a fuel within a matter of 10 years. You all would just not agree with me when I tell you that in the 1960s, when people had to convert from firewood or coal to LPG, we were literally dumping LPG cylinders in their houses, and they were saying we will not use it. From that point to a point where we are having so much of waiting list, every household, every woman wants to have this because this is the most convenient fuel. When you just switch it on, it gives you full energy. When you just want to switch it off, you just turn the knob. That's all. Yeah. So now
Yes,
every household has. For your information, we have covered 99% of the households in the country.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Also, I'm very excited to see you joining our family. Meena ma'am was telling, Vimal sir is very interested to join our family. And
yeah, thank you so much. I was, in fact, this is the first top session I'm attending, and I find a lot of enthusiastic people. So wherever there is enthusiasm, I'm there behind you. So I should
Yes.
So I would like to, I can talk about any kind of topic, like even management, or motivational or anything, or technical, anything I can. That will be a chit chat, of course. It will not be a talk like this, one way. Okay. Then,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Apurva, you had some question?
Yes, sir. Good morning, firstly, and this is a wonderful talk. I mean, I never looked a gas cylinder in a different. I mean, it is something that lies down the gas stove, and which I mean, I can only remember that when the gas is over, and then we have to change it. But now I got a whole, I mean, different perspective on a gas cylinder. My question is like. You just said the gas cylinders of 5 liters and 10 liters are available, right? Is there
Yeah.
any reason, particular reason for just, I mean, the availability of, I mean, is there any particular reason for limiting it till there?
No, yes, Apurva, good question, I would say. Now, if I had to replicate, first of all, I mean, I would like to just introduce this concept. Can we fill the cylinder full with LPG? You know what is the water capacity of a steel cylinder? It is 15 kg. 15 kg.
Yeah.
1.5.
And I think, like generally, I mean, to my knowledge, almost like 25 liters of LPG is filled into it, right? Into a normal gas cylinder.
No, you'll have to go to your kitchen again, Purva. I think you need to know what is written on the cylinder. We fill 14.2 kgs of LPG in one cylinder, in your domestic cylinder, and which has a water capacity of 15 kg. But why are we not filling that 0.8 kg? Is there any answer from anybody of us? It was there.
Is it because
you can
it
find the
expands?
answer. Exactly. It expands with, as I told you, with every degree of temperature, the cylinder, the content of LPG cylinder, that is LPG liquid, will expand terribly. So what happens in India? Somewhere we have got a temperature of about 13 degrees. Somewhere we have got a temperature of 50 degrees also. So if we take the cylinder from a 13-degree place to a 50-degree place, how much would the expansion be? And if you are carrying a filled cylinder from here to there, or maybe at the same place in Hyderabad, sometimes the temperature is 15, sometimes the temperature is 45. So to make allege, it is called allege, the space between the liquid and the valve. So, and to make way for the expansion, we fill only 14.2 kgs. Now, we cannot replicate this 14.2 kgs cylinder because there is a Gazette notification which says that oil companies can sell. Oil companies can market cylinders, steel cylinders in 14.2 kg only. Okay, so we can't introduce these new cylinders with the same capacity. So it had to be slightly lesser or more. So that's how we have gone in for the 5 kg for very small cylinders, 10 kg for a cylinder which is equivalent to your steel cylinder, like that. So this is just a marketing strategy.
And one more question is like, I mean, for this new cylinders, when we have to introduce a new system, like you said, we need to educate people about the whole installation and all. So, I mean, which takes lot of time for the cylinder to get habituated, for the people to habituate to that type of system, right? So, why can't we make it as simple as the normal cylinder? The ones which like.
Okay, you are speaking. When you are referring to normal cylinder, in what context are you referring to? Means the design part or the selling part?
No, not the design part, sir. In terms of maintenance and installation.
We cannot do that because the government is not giving any subsidy for introducing this cylinder in the market. Okay, so we cannot have the same deposit system with the same commercials as what is there for the steel cylinder. There is no mandate as of now from the ministry that you must replace all the steel cylinders with these cylinders as of now. Once it picks up, maybe it gets popular with the people, then there will be a pressure on the government. But do you know what is the cost of that to replace how many 800 million cylinders in the market? And what will happen to those cylinders which are replaced? So there is a economics involved in that, and then maybe at a later date we will take a decision. The oil companies at a right time, maybe 5, 6, 10 years later, will take a decision on completely replacing the earlier cylinders with this, and maybe a different marketing strategy will come for that. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Veena ma'am, for introducing us. And like you said, you made us excited about the cylinders too. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Now, do you also realize that there are opportunities for chemical engineers in LPG field? What wonderful opportunity!
Yes,
Challenging.
yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I had designed this presentation of mine more so with the to open a window for all the students to look at what responsibilities they will be having or what complexities will be there when you actually go in the market and do business or go in the market and do a job. Okay, so you will be through this, you will be having some idea that there'll be so many complexities when I go and operate or when I go and work in a plant like this or a factory like this. There are so many rules, regulations, and the understanding which you need to have about the products that it will be totally new than what you have learned in those 4 years at college. So I hope it has satisfied that.
If I'm permitted, I will also try to get somebody to talk about the huge bullet that we have. I mean, as a continuation of this particular topic.
I can get another person also along with me who will talk about this, and definitely.
If there is interesting,
yeah,
if there
sure, absolutely. I have no problems about that. Yeah. But I would definitely like to see who are behind this shell of not showing the faces sometime later.
We should come on video and clap for Vinmal. That's one of the things they do normally.
Yeah, I would be delighted to see that. But I would love to see more people join. There are about only 11 people as of now, I believe.
Yeah, as of now, yes. Some people have left already.
Yeah, good. Some of you are taking that courage to show your face. Thank you so much. Yeah. So shall we finish this or maybe something else?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah.
Vimalji, are you running out of time? Because we have a couple more hands raised.
No,
I don't know if you don't
I'm
have
absolutely
time.
free. No. I was looking at the time 10:21. So you have time up to 10:30, I think. So I'm free to take any amount of time, and I can bore you to whatever extent you want.
Oh my God, this is so interesting. Not boring one bit. But yeah.
No, it is only late for people in US.
Yeah. So I think some
and of course, people had plans. I think some students they have plans. They have to go for breakfast. Those who are in the hostel have a problem. So
yeah, no problem. It's a pleasure to give back to the society or to the students of my my
alma mater.
Yeah. So That's-
Nikhil answer?
I was told that you had a lot of interesting lectures earlier also. And I was in fact going through your channel on the YouTube. I saw a couple of talks, and some of them were very interesting. And varied topics is what impressed me. That even non-technical topics are very good. That's really great.
So it's a sort of overall development that we are thinking of in Thopescell. I think Geeta should tell more about Thopescell.
Mhm.
And actually, for all of you listening in, I have been requesting Vimal to be a part of the mentors group and be a mentor himself. So Vimal has accepted, and we are just waiting. I mean, Shravan will we'll probably start off with our story presentation once.
My pleasure.
They will present to you, Vimal, what they have been doing the last 4.5 years.
Is it okay? Yeah, I would like to see
So
what
you
is.
away, and then we will take you in.
Sure. Yeah, a few
And,
sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, and that presentation will be so much better in giving you a picture of what is happening in Thopescell than me saying a few words. So, yeah, you
Yes.
should wait for that session.
Sure. I would love to
Yes.
have that. Yeah.
Yes.
I would love to have that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Coming up soon, I think there's 1 hour story coming up.
Uh-huh.
This is done frequently when new incumbents come in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great. Good. It's a very good initiative. I really hoped we had such cells during our time. So we could get motivated.
You won't believe every individual who comes to the group to give a talk says that, and we say it so often. I'm sure the kids are tired of listening to that. We say it too.
Yeah,
We
that's
wish
what-
we had something like this.
Yeah. I mean, this
Yes.
would have really given us a good insight.
Yes.
And
Yes.
we just knew the college and home that time. Nothing else. There
So
was
true.
There was
So
no
true.
internet. There was nothing. To connect
Yes.
us with anything.
Yeah.
So I would say the younger generation is now very fortunate to have the internet, Google, and such talks.
And using it in the right way.
Yeah.
So
That's what-
this group here has used technology, has totally exploited technology, for their benefit and in the right way.
Okay.
So,
Good.
Yes. I think Nikhil, you had a question, right?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am, like comment. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the insightful presentation. Like the considerations what you included in making that new LPG cylinder is really very interesting, because every one of us had the experiences of it. Like when you mentioned about order end, I was remembering, if at all it was orderless, how did we know about it? And everything was very key point. Like on the like, I guess 2 weeks back, I had a smell of gas leakage. So I just imagine what would be happening if I would have not smelled that. So, and also the key aspects of, and the other part is like I see the world through my lens of sustainability. So then when you mentioned about making it with the HTP, I was thinking like, okay, so how about how will it be sustainable? And LPG also, like everything related to petroleum products, I consider it as a not sustainable, but we are habituated to it. We need to have a better alternatives. At the same time, we need to appreciate the way it has been implemented into the society. And when you said how hard it was to implement that idea, almost you mentioned it took 20 years to come into the market, right? And I was searching about green LPG in the meantime. I just found about it. Like, I think we need to come up with ideas. We will have some better alternatives in the future. We should not stop ideating. Thank you so much, sir. Like,
Thank you so much.
It was in,
I appreciate your concerns and your concerns about the sustainability. People have been telling that hydrocarbons will last only for the next 20 years. When I joined the company, they said it is going to be 20 years. So I was wondering where I'll go after 20 years. Then I've retired and still they are saying 20 years. So hydrocarbon is going to be our stay for a long time. And until hydrocarbons are there, we will have products like this LPG or maybe the piped natural gas as a means of energizing your kitchens. But until we find an alternative like the solar energy or the wind energy being so efficiently converted into energy which we use, until that comes up in a very competitive way, even electricity, everything will be there. Electricity for heating, electricity for heating your water, or LPG for cooking, or LPG for heating in industrial places. It is going to be there. It is going to be there until the last drop of hydrocarbon is being used. Okay. And fortunately, I mean, if you see what the US reserves are, which are still untapped, this is going to be until probably you will retire. Okay. So beyond that, we won't be there to see, what happens. But we need to think about it. Yes.
Yes,
So-
sir. Like the main point is like we should not stop saying that, okay, let us wait for the sustainability.
Yeah.
So what the best thing we can do with the present thing?
Yeah.
Like whenever the time comes, we will like we get that mindset, right, to make things happen. Then at the moment maybe we will do it.
See, what best we can do at this moment is that
Yes.
we can only improve the efficiency of the gadgets which we are developing. In this, I would like to add that I was a part of the redesigning of the LPG stove which you are using at home. You know what was the efficiency of the LPG stove before 2000? It was only 42%. So by changing those cores, by redesigning that burner head and all that, we have been able to get the present burner to 72% efficiency. So this is our contribution to the energy sector. Not to say that for sustainability, I will not accept that product. No.
Vinay, that is 100% increase, 120% increase.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry, 100,
And-
almost 100%.
Yeah,
increase.
and I was a part of that team also, which,
Super.
which developed this. We had a concept called Star LPG, burners. So we developed that, and we convinced again. That's a different topic altogether, and we had to convince the BIS people to come and see and approve. Earlier there was no.
Students, I hope you know what is BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards. Okay.
Yeah, earlier it was called ISI, not the other ISI, but this is our own ISI. Now, so they had in general given a standard, a code for the design of that burner. When we said that, okay, we have developed a burner of 72% efficiency, they said no, for every burner we'll come and do the check and give you the certificate. So that was the biggest challenge.
100% inspection.
Yeah, 100% inspection and 100% certification. You know how much time it would take for them to come and depute for every piece of this thing stuff. Then we had to convince them to give a batch certification. And ultimately now they are doing a lot, surprise lot. Means if you place 1,000 stuffs, they come and inspect 2 and say that, okay,
Sampling.
we are certifying.
Sampling.
Sampling.
Okay.
Yeah. So in every process of development, there is so much of struggle which you have to do. That is what I wanted to tell in this talk. Yeah. So, any more hands raised? I think there are no people left.
So Rajkumar had a question, right? He got his question answered.
Yeah. Raj,
Yeah, Rajkumar.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I am so excited with innovative ideas, sir. I have a doubt on the bolting process of LPG. My lecture said we use in bolting of LPG isobatic process. I want to know some that as well as I want to know isobatic process of bolting of LPG. And day by day, price of LPG or CNG natural are rising. So, will it be possible to establish a biogas?
Oh, but
Because in India there are lots of organic waste. So, is there any advantage, disadvantage to LPG gas?
Rajkumar, you're talking about
And I want to
biogas,
know
right?
insurance, sir.
You're talking about biogas, right?
Yes, sir.
As a product of my bottling plant.
Yes.
Are you talking about that?
Yes, sir.
No, biogas, Rajkumar, is not, say, propane or butane. It is methane, basically. Biogas is a product which is, the gas which comes out after, the decaying of, say, food material, right? So the methane which comes out, first of all, the quantity is very, very low, which just suffices for one household. Okay. Now, from methane, from our propane and butane, we cannot convert to methane. Have you learned organic chemistry? From a lower C compound, you can't. This lower C compound, that is C1 or C2, cannot be produced from C3 and C4 compounds. Okay, so biogas is totally a different compound, different gas altogether, which has no relation with LPG and cannot be produced from an LPG plant. It cannot be produced from the hydrocarbons what we are referring to as the crude oil. It is not the oil byproduct. It is from the food waste. The carbon comes from your food waste. Whereas this comes from, in the case of crude oil, it comes from the decayed, or it comes from the fossil fuels, which have undergone a lot of decay during the last, say, so many millions of years, right? So there is a difference per se between these two products. So I would not be able to say anything about biogas because I have no experience in that, nor I have read anything about that. So maybe you could talk to somebody who is into biogas directly. Okay. Anything else?
I have one more question, sir.
Yeah.
I have one more question, sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
Unexpectedly or accidentally, our LPG cylinder exploded. Is there any insurance for the domestic purpose? Insurance?
You want insurance as a customer?
Of course, sir.
Yes. For your information, all the oil companies put together have taken and are continuing to take every year a third-party liability insurance cover for about 40 lakhs in case of death of a customer or a person who's handling LPG. Now, in that case, the death has to be established that it is due to LPG leakage or a mishap due to LPG alone. Okay, there have been many cases where somebody has been killed and then LPG was directed at them and they have claimed this insurance amount. In that case, the insurance company flatly refuses. So in such cases, oil companies, they send an investigating team and which establishes that in case of an LPG leakage or an LPG fire, if you are subjected to that directly and you are dying of that only, in such cases only it is covered. But yes, oil companies do take every customer is covered by an insurance policy. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your information, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
So Dhanush, I have one last question, okay? If Vimalji has time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned, Vimalji, hazardous waste generation from your plants.
Yeah.
And I also saw an organization, PESO, that you mentioned. I didn't catch the acronym, what it stood for.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the regulatory body that dictates hazardous waste rules, or
no? PESO was earlier the explosive department. They have renamed themselves as petroleum, and I'm not able to expand that further.
Mm-hmm.
But PESO is the regulatory body, primary regulatory body, which implements the gas cylinder rules. Cylinder rules that is the statute. So they are a body like the police who give the authorization for you to do something, and they keep a vigil on that. So it's like that. Yeah. So they are a regulatory body, and pollution is a different subject altogether. There, the governing body is the PSCB, Pollution Control Board of the state. So they laid down norms on so many aspects, like the effluent waste, the solid waste, the liquid waste, and the gaseous waste, as well as noise levels, as well as the air pollution levels. All that they stipulate through their approval that you should not exceed that much, and they will dictate to you how.
I remembered that this thing, full form for that PESO. Geeta.
Yeah.
I think it is Petroleum and Explosives Safety Organization.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
It just went out of my mind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We all have to take licenses, Geeta.
Yeah.
If you have to
for
store
storage of LPG or bottling LPG or transporting LPG, you have to have a license from the PESO.
PESO. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. No more questions, I guess. And thank you so much for accepting our invitation to share the valuable. I think I consider as an engineer, any value adding product that we are giving to this society should be feasible, affordable, and adaptable. And that's what we have tried. And now we should, the safety is a more important factor in those where we are giving the value added product. And thank you so much for giving this valuable information, sir. Thank you, Meena ma'am, for connecting Vimal sir to us. And now he will be a member of our TOP family. And thank you, Vimal sir, like sharing the words and saying the greatest word. Wherever there is the enthusiasm, there you will be. And
thank you.
We will like to share a gratitude card from our TOP Gratitude Cluster. Thank you, Vimal Kumar Mathur sir. Thank you, sir, for this information session on the LPG bottling plant process. Thank you so much for your hard time and energy from TOP Gratitude team.
Thank you. Yeah.
And we'll be sure connecting you for the great lectures on the management as a motivation, and more than anything as a great instrument.
I hope I'll be able to do some justice on that. I'm not a teacher per se, but I love giving my peace of mind to people, and I'm happy that somebody is there to listen to me. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, he has to listen to you, sir, as we are a lifelong learners.
Yeah. Thank you so much.